I should have realized. The pattern lies within the fabric. The hand of fate guides us. Our meeting couldn't have been mere chance.
Perhaps you truly are the one to deliver this woman from the doom.
But I am not the only one at risk. I have to think of my daughter. You are certain you can help us? Keep us safe? I can't allow any collateral damage to hit us.
No problem whatsoever. Your family is safe. The phantoms are no match for me.
If you promise, good officer, then you might be our last hope. Do you swear it?
Hand on my heart, on my honor.
Thank you, sir. There's one more thing I haven't told you about yet. The entity.
Do not act surprised. You know of these things, sire.
Of course, the entity. I have sensed its presence.
You have? The entity takes the form of a woman, a witch probably. I've suspected that she must be connected to the curse ever since I first saw her. Did you know that she lives inside the chimney?
The chimney. The passage between heaven and hell. Of course!
Yes, that chimney is part of the building's central furnace, and it's enormous. She has barricaded herself behind some metal security curtains. God knows what she's doing there. Some unnatural magic, I assume.
It's just some hobo living in the walls.
You should go find the entity and ask what happened to all the companies in the building. What is the source of this curse? Here's the key to the warded door behind the curtains. Take it. Oh, and please do return to me after you've looked round. I'm quite anxious to know what she has to say about the curse. What you discover in there.
Unbelievable darkness and ruin.
Farewell, book peddler.
You see a set of tattered curtains blocking
Pull the
the
curtains
way to
open.
You see a dimly lit room full of dusty furniture and trash. A doorway stands in the back, covered in dozens of scary little cage-like trinkets, your shadow looming over it like an omen.
Oh!
A terrified O escapes Plaisance as she tries her best to look away, her round face buried in her hands. Ghostly silhouettes of hairdryers. A vaguely androgynous portrait of a man.
A heavy door with a missing handle stands before you, covered in dozens, if not hundreds, of little oddly shaped trinkets and charms. It appears to be locked.
Knock on the door.
Only an echo. No one is there.
Unlock it with a key.
After exerting some force, you manage to turn the key. It's eerily silent. The door slides slightly open, letting a draft of cold air into the room.
Open the door and enter. Said I leveled up. Let's see. How do I do this? I've seen this one pop a lot during conversations. Let's get logic.
What is this place?
The lieutenant stares at the dusty training equipment. Looks like a gym to me.
Yes, but no one's been here in ages.
He draws a stripe on the dusty floor with his foot.
I doubt the electricity still works. Good thing we have a flashlight on us. Don't forget to take it out of your bag before we move on.
Hey Puddings, has Muck already done the thing you saw yesterday with the video and such? I did that this morning. Yes, Noxie's gonna be working on that tomorrow.
An eerie feeling rises in your chest.
What if there's a reason no one's been here for ages?
Yes, because it's closed.
Excuse me. You're no fun, Kim.
No need to look for supernatural explanations where a banal one will do. Now let's move on, shall we?
Map of Martinez.
The worn map features the patchwork grid of the streets of Martinez, with directions
Thank
to
you.
appropriately touristy locations. Year 48 resides on the upper right corner.
Trace a path through the grid.
Your finger moves through the various streets. Across Rue de Saint-Ghislain and Rue Saint-Sipar. Over Saint-Brun and Martinez North. Finally, coming to a halt on the spot where you are currently standing. Although the map gives no such indication itself.
For a more detailed view of the map, go to your journal and select the map tab.
Put the map away. Where's the flashlight? Sand is dripping from the punch bag. The poster says Citius Fortis, the rest is worn off. Shot put ball.
A barbell lies on the floor. The color has worn off its weight plates. It's 60 kilograms. Your triceps hum at the sight of these weights. Show the world what kind of beast it's dealing with. Lift them. There are no collars on the barbell. This is a safety hazard. Why does it feel so familiar?
8% chance that I can lift 60 kilograms. Look, Kim, it's a trap. There's no collars on the barbell.
You're right. The weight may fall off. Better not touch it then.
What kind of bastard would remove the collars? It should be a felony.
It would be a violation of EPIS safety regulations if the gym was still operating, but it isn't. No one's supposed to come here anymore.
Is this familiar because I'm a weightlifter?
No, it's not that. It's the stale smell of rubber, the squeaky sound of sneakers, your bruised knee against the mat, and a whistle.
Knee against
Then
a mat?
the feeling is
Was
gone.
I like a wrestler?
It's just a memory.
Or a boxer? I think I mentioned boxing at one point.
A memory from another life. When you were young and fit.
Leave. Worn out wall bars. They look unsafe. The hallway is blocked by old window panes and debris. Wild animals stare at you in the dark, stuffed and mounted. Poor animals, no rest for their bodies after death. A large demijohn full of strange liquid. Airship rotors covered in spider webs. They remind you of blades. A naked mannequin torso, a strange yellow color. Blue velvet, soft to the touch, moth bitten. Money. Is this Emma's atelier? Atelier? I don't know that word. Skis with slipstream printed on them, laminated top layer. Production schedule filament memory. Steel rotor blades bearing a slipstream logo. Wait. My guy had something to say in there.
Looks like someone tried to reconceptualize their business here.
I don't get it.
Look, the skis and rotor blades both bear the same slipstream logo. It seems likely that they started out making one, failed to turn a profit, and then pivoted to producing the other.
But the question is, which did they start with and which did they pivot to?
That's a good question.
That's just speculation. We don't know anything for sure.
Not quite. You do know that there's something unusual about this company's business model. Your flashlight slides over an old green chalkboard covered in scribbles,
What, there's like an elf?
sketches, and schemes, like some ancient cave mural. Some of the writing has faded with age, but you can still make out sections here and there. Photos and drawings have been pinned to the board.
Inspect drawings.
These lithe, pointy-eared creatures appear to be different types of welkins. You make out autumnal candle welkins, casting wax-based magic.
People been playing D&D up here?
Translucent welkins, with organs shining under their skin, and even ether welkins, hailing from the vast emptiness of sidereal space. Who are all those creatures? Fantasies of a tortured, feverish mind?
Gin says, ah yes, the role-playing game that punishes you for trying to specialize. Wait, what? I haven't hit that yet.
One of the welkins, towering among the rest, appears to be different, however.
Examine the Welkin.
It's Vara Hamira, a high welkin, his face white and scarred like cracked marble. This is clearly a Welkin supremacist. The note says, all non-Welkin races will be purged. The Haldor, the Tworg, the humans, and even headless men, all of them, purged. Imagine a world filled only with Welkin, Green Welkin, Dread Welkin, and the High Welkin to rule them all.
An inordinate amount of time has gone into drawing these little Welkin creatures.
Whisper, one of them is a Welkin supremacist.
Mm-hmm. Political commentary. That one has a great beard, too.
Why would anyone spend so much time on this?
Some people really like building a world, I think. Even if it's just for a game.
That's very meta, because a developer wrote that. Well, this has been educational. Let's move on.
Just look at those details. So much effort.
And for what? All gone.
Inspect the photos.
The photo collage depicts barren, icy landscapes wrapped in perpetual night. You see permafrost and glacial landforms, dead trees grown in under the snow. Entire oceans have been frozen from shore to shore. There are pictures of settlements on dried-up riverbeds, abandoned in a storm. Animal corpses in the dark, carcasses and bones. You see primitive oil rigs built into glaciers, boreal dvorg, yurts under the snow, great mammoth-like beasts of burden. Albeit dark and cold, this vision also feels cozy in its own way, like eggnog or morphine, a much-needed respite from our own world. A pinned postcard reads, "The heat death scenario, a desperate fight for geothermal energy engulfs the world as Wirral becomes untethered from its sun, drifting through the universe."
Gin says, I tried to start this game as a super smart, super spiritual kind of guy, low strength, and ended up failing a lot of strength checks, and then you kill yourself at the start of the game by turning on the lights. Yeah, I turned on the light, and I took 1 damage, and I was like, oh god, and then I turned it off. I think I have 2 hit points, so. Inspect the schedule.
This is a monthly calendar from the year 50. Cryptic words like sprint, daily minimi, and GPI span the marker-drawn grid, the grand scheme of production and money. Everyone is constantly teetering on the edge of the abyss, an abyss of production. These squares look orderly, but beneath them is chaos, worry, pain.
Keep reading. What happened?
As time goes on, the numbers in the boxes grow rarer and rarer. The board becomes an empty snowfield in the final days. Only failure and regret dwell in this region.
Last time I tried to play this, I tried to pull the tie off the spinning fan, and I had a heart attack and died. What, dude? I just turned off the fan, and then I got the tie.
Looks like they didn't make it.
The lieutenant looks at the frigid ice field of
A
nothingness.
note in the bottom left corner of the chalkboard says, "See the prod schedule filament for details."
Oh, that's in my bag. Inspect the notes.
The handwriting is only partly legible, but you can still make out 3 slogans: "Call in, tune out," "Wirral untethered," and "Heat death of the universe."
The cube-like crisscross of filaments feels oddly fragile in your hand. its intricate structure covered in dust. Silver tape on the side reads production schedule. Note, this filament contains information that can be read using a radio computer.
This appears to be some kind of machine with a cube-shaped
Oh, is
heart
this it?
and a wired framework. The keyboard has a rectangular on-off button. A piece of paper still hangs from the printer.
The radio computer. Just sitting here without anyone inside.
He sounds surprised and a bit cautious. Turn on the machine.
The machine lights up like some prehistoric animal stirring from its slumber, revealing fluorescent play and print keys on the keyboard. The hatch on the machine's central compartment is wide open.
Looking for an option to put the cube in. Look inside the compartment.
It's empty like a beehive without its brood. Some cables have been left dangling, disconnected. The filament you have would fit perfectly inside the compartment.
Insert production schedule.
Like a smooth draw, the filament slides into place. On the keyboard, the play key starts blinking.
Press play.
A bar of fabric right above the keyboard starts producing a soft hum. The sound of static seeps through the machine's planar magnetic driver. Have you stirred the ghost of the doomed commercial area from its rest? Could this be its dismembered heart beginning to flutter? The static gets louder, slowly filling up the abandoned hall, until a voice speaks out, crackling and old, cutting into the air.
Good afternoon. Fortress accident en rue de Saint-Ghislaine. This is East Insulindian Repeater Station 1. Please repeat. Is this the production schedule?
Why did you call me Fortress Accident?
Fortress Accident is the company on whose name the terminal you are currently using has been registered to.
Do you have any other information about this company?
One moment.
You hear her flip through a catalog before she reads out with a studious care.
Fortress Accident SCA produces revolutionary interactive call-in radio games. That's what the catalog says.
That's not bad.
And what's that, this interactive call-in radio game?
Any other questions?
You hear her ask when the connection finally improves. What's the production schedule?
The filament you have inserted into the reader.
Ah, right, thanks.
That was a question. Have you inserted it into the core?
Yes.
Good. Please repeat the password.
You should ask her for a hint.
This is the police. Please open the thing.
I am contractually obliged to protect the privacy of the filament holder Fortress Accident. Without filing a warrant with Lintel, I cannot give you access to this filament.
I'm afraid we are not doing that, unless we want to wait for a month.
Now, can you please repeat the password?
A password. I'm really bad at passwords. Can you give me a hint?
No.
Is it my birthday?
Still no.
I don't know.
Received. I will register this login attempt.
Don't worry. Passwords have a way of turning up sooner or later.
Fortress Accident. Is there anything else I can do for you today?
Are you a machine or are you alive?
Yes, I am alive. I am 74 years old and my name is Yvonne.
She repeats passwords. Programming people are all paranoid.
Okay, but where are you? How did you know where I am?
I work as a repeater at the East Insulindian Repeater Station. It's my job to know where you are, Fortress Accident. As for me, well, I am sitting in my cubicle, surrounded by a wall of radios.
Doesn't it get lonely, sitting there all by herself?
Doesn't it get lonely doing this job?
Lonely? Why would it get lonely? I get to talk to people all day.
That's why she does this.
Now, Please tell me if there's anything else I can do, Votre Accident.
Alright, that's all for now.
Thank you, and goodbye.
The old lady's voice disappears along with the static.
Tiles on the cube are still smoldering, casting the framework in a soft glow. Fluorescent play and print keys shine on the keyboard.
Try pressing print?
Nothing happens.
Leave. Alright, I'm just gonna leave the cube in there for now.
This old fireplace is covered in lines drawn in blue and red marker, the mesh spreading over the stone like blood vessels on alabaster skin. It looks ghostly and strangely ancient. A diagram for summoning some time-forgotten being? The symbols seem very esoteric. The whole thing resembles Kadran mosaic tiles. Very pedantic.
Hang on, how do I know what Kedron mosaic tiles are supposed to look like?
History classes, students with their textbooks open, studying the roots of our civilization. Those aquarelle blue tiles looked beautiful in the sun.
What am I looking at?
Radio frequencies, it seems. UKV 123.6, UKV 123.7, UKV 123.9. Some written notes, too. Sparse and cryptic.
Radio frequencies for what?
Unclear. It looks like a cardiovascular system split into veins and capillaries. Very advanced.
We're dealing with something medical here?
You think so? The web is comprised of radio stations, all lead back to one red heart, titled The Game Master Frequency. A note says, this one can listen in on any station it wants.
If it's a game, then who's playing?
Whoever decides to call in to a call-in station, it looks like. All of this is gone, left unrealized. There's no way a little basement studio working here could pull anything like this off.
My God. It's as if the less money they had, the more ambitious their project became.
Why do you say that?
The schedule. I know doom when I see it. The company was running out of funding.
What else?
Nothing. It's just lines on marble. An echo from times long gone. No one has used the fireplace in ages.
Chat, I'm reminded, back when I worked in tech support, there was a period of time where my boss was like, okay, our biggest customer, the customer that gives us, as a company, the most money each month, is going to no longer need our services in 2 months. So we have got 60 days before we have trouble financially. We need to come up with something new and get that off the ground within 60 days to stay in the green. And then he goes, so I bought this Doom clock, and it was like this digital clock that looked like some military thing, and it was on the wall, and it was counting down like 2 months. And he goes, and this shows us the countdown until we're out of money. And then, without thinking, I said, did the time jump ahead a little bit when you bought the clock? And I specifically remember a couple of the tier 2 technicians were like, and they were trying to like not show they were laughing, and the owner of the company was just like, just stone-faced staring at me. Dude, he wasn't amused at all. I said it without thinking, and everyone there but him thought it was hilarious. Scribbled across a notebook, developers of the most advanced RPG in the universe.
Okay. What do you think is going on with that computer, chalkboard, and fireplace?
It's just a failed business. Only question is, what the hell were they making?
Yes, that is the question.
He takes a step back, steepling his hands.
It looks like one of those popular pen and paper role-playing games. Only these people were trying to automate it, make it work on radio computers.
Utter madness, he thinks, as a compliment.
What do you think happened to the company?
No idea. They stopped filling out the schedule on the chalkboard.
And this was a role-playing game?
Indeed. Those Welkins are a dead giveaway. Role-playing people love that stuff. The world looks like a modified version of the WeWorld board game, with hit death thrown in.
Super cool. Someone should give them millions of real immediately. This game is too good to be left unfinished.
Has anyone ever done this before?
Not to my knowledge. They make automated games in Grad, Messina, Königstein. You know, places with industry. But I don't think anyone has attempted to create an interisolary game before. We just don't have the technology.
How are they planning to do that?
Through call-in stations. None of the players have to be physically present. Anyone in the world can participate in the game, as long as they have a two-way radio. Then there's the Game Master frequency that listens in on the smaller call-in stations. I think that was supposed to coordinate the stories, functioning as a master of ceremonies of sorts.
Wow.
Indeed, it's ambitious and untethered from reality, but...
Do we have any money? Let's give them more money so they can finish it and make it even bigger.
It's too late for that, I'm afraid.
He says, looking around the derelict room. The pipes howl and a rat crosses the floor.
Okay, let's keep moving.
What? Is it a bear?
You see
Refrigerator
a
bear?
terrifying ice bear with a strange compartment in its belly. The door is covered in frost, and the bear's eyes are glowing red.
What is this thing? It looks like a giant ice bear.
The lieutenant doesn't answer. His eyes are glued to the animal. A sharp slice of light shines out from its mysterious belly door.
Crack open the door.
A gust of freezing cold air rushes to greet you. You hear a low grumble as the bear regulates itself. This is the inside of a refrigerator. The lieutenant takes a peek inside. His hand has found the holster of his gun.
Look inside the fridge.
The shelves are empty. All you see are crumpled ice cream wrappers with the brand name, Revachol Ice City. A handwritten note has been attached to the door. The fridge is huge.
Take the note from the door.
You pocket the note and the little fridge magnets keeping it on the door.
Examine an ice cream wrapper.
A friendly cartoon bear smiles back at you from a glossy cellophane wrapper.
It's a Klondike!
It looks nothing like the fridge.
What is a giant bear-shaped fridge doing in an abandoned cellar in the first place?
Good question. It looks like an ice cream fridge.
So they tried to sell ice cream from this hyper-carnivore?
I know. What an unfortunate marketing choice. What is even worse, the bear is still costing them money to this day.
The lieutenant points at the red sneaky cable coming from the fridge.
The fridge buzzes with energy. The electricity bill on this thing must be catastrophic.
There's the curse! Close the door. An ice cream maker, defrosted and unplugged. The flashlight casts a strange shadow. There is a hidden doorway here. Two rusty rifles are hidden above the piping. They look inoperable.
A few bricks have fallen off, revealing a compartment behind the wall. It's too dark to see in.
Look, there's a hole in the wall. Shine light on the hidden compartment.
There is, yes. And there also appears to be something inside the hole. Interesting. Do you want to take a look?
I do. Look inside.
Your hand reaches deep into darkness and spiderwebs. Rummaging around, you find rusty rifles hidden away.
Rifles, Kim.
Are these any good?
Inspect.
Most of them are rusty and inoperable, like the rest. But one catches your eye. A bolt-action model with a fine wood stock, in better cosmetic order than the others.
Does it ping?
Take it. You're a police officer. Police officers carry guns.
The only option is steal the gun. There's no other... This looks nice. Take the rifle.
That's a rare sight. Seems to no longer be functional, but still a beautiful thing in its own way.
What does this mean? A rifle here?
It means there are firearms, albeit inoperable, still lying around in Martinez.
Yoink.
It's an interesting coincidence, I would say. Might come in useful in the future.
He likes this find.
Where are we? Look around.
Seems like